On this edition of UTR, we're in Lake Orion for a place where you can eat, drink, and even play like an Italian aristocrat. We'll also show you a fantastic festival full of dragons. Then we're off to Gaylord for a classic furry family vacation, a cool funky restaurant where you can buy cool funky stuff, and even show you an elk herd you may not have heard of. Get ready to explore the cool people, places, and things that make Michigan a great place to be.
Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
And by Big B Coffee, celebrating 18 years as a Michigan company. Gift cards, mugs, and coffee by the pound available in store and online. Franchise info available at biggby.com.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. And the more I explore, the more I realize it's the place to be. I'm Tom Dalton, and this is Under the Radar Michigan. Do you suffer from boring townotonosis? Do you need a new place to live, work, and play that'll lift your spirits and lower your blood pressure? Well, Dr. Dalton has just your prescription, and it's easy to swallow.
Lake Orion is one of those towns where the sum of all of its parts makes it one of the greatest places to live in Michigan. From life on the lake to time on the trails, everything you need to increase the quantity of the quality of your life is right here. And at the center of it all is a quaint little downtown with tons of interesting places to shop and cool eateries with awesome edibles. Heck, it's so nice here, the car wash even has a waterfall. Lake Orion is located in southeast Lower Michigan, right next to Lake Orion. Huh, go figure. Since so much of the Lake Orion experience is, well, Lake Orion, I thought I'd spend some quality time with Suzanne Peralt and local historian Reva Campbell smack dab in the middle of it.
Well, this lake isn't all that defines this town, is it?
Not at all. It's actually just one of 27 lakes in Lake Orion, actually. And it's kind of mixes with the historic downtown area, all of the recreation, the state park. 2 different trails meet here in Lake Orion, and sort of all of that together really makes up our community.
Well, what's the most interesting historical fact about this lake?
We were the first inland lake to have a marine postal service. We're actually in Ripley's, believe it or not, because of it.
Oh, so you had a little mail boat go around the lake?
Yeah,
and deliver?
from 1905 through 1951, we had 13 mailmen that would deliver mail around the lake.
What's a couple of other interesting things about this lake?
Well, it was really a vacation spot for Detroiters. We had the interurban railway. We had a trolley and a train that would come up here from Detroit, making 3 or 4 stops a day, bringing thousands of people from Detroit up here.
Now, your historical tour is called History,
Folklore, and Lies.
History, Folklore, and Lies. What are a couple of the lies about the lake?
The biggest one is Jimmy Hoffa. There's a rumor that he lived on the lake, and some people come on my tour and say, oh, I heard it was that house, or he lived there. And he actually did not live on Lake Orion, but he did keep his boat on Lake Orion.
And is there really a dragon?
Well, I don't know. That's up for you to decide.
Well, another thing I love about Lake Orion is not only can you live on the lake, but there's all these little, almost like peninsulas that jut out into the lake where you can live. I mean, it's just such an incredible place to be. But what's the life force that gets you to stay here and makes you love this place so much?
Well, the tagline for the city, for the community, has been where living is a vacation. And that is absolutely true, because we have all of these different amenities. Not only do we have this beautiful lake, but it's all of these things together to make up the great community spirit that we have here.
This was a great watery way to find out more about this awesome aquatic community. You know, every town should have a lake attached to it. So if your town doesn't, you best start digging.
And speaking of digging something, if you're Italian, you know an Italian, or you've always wanted to be one, I got a place you're really gonna like.
Palazzo de Bocce is like a crash course in being an Italian aristocrat. From fine dining and fantastic surroundings to the fun and ancient sport of bocce ball, this place will turn you Italian in no time at all. It all started when Anthony Battaglia retired, got bored, and then, well, started building.
Oh, yeah, don't look at the cameras. They're evil.
I want to look at the camera. What's the matter?
No, then it looks like a TV commercial. You'll break. It steals your hair.
Already you're starting to tell me what I got to do here.
Well, he's Italian. From the look of this place, I don't think retirement suited you, did it?
Are you kidding?
You don't seem like the kind of guy that can sit around and do nothing.
No, I mean, come on. I retired from the construction business, and I had to do something, so I was going to build a little club, you know, for a couple guys.
All right. Well, how many bocce courts you got here now?
10.
You got 10? And then the restaurant, this place is so grandiose. Like
32,000 square feet.
Wow.
But it's, you know, I was, you know, wasn't sure what was going to happen, but it opened up and been successful. We've been here 11 years now.
So you wanted to build bocce courts, but what inspired the restaurant?
Well, you got to have
You're
something
Italian,
to
right?
go with it, and you got to eat, right? Come on. No, it's a perfect mix.
Well, you're right. It's the perfect combination because people love to play games, and people always congregate where there's food. So you come here, you've got a wonderful traditional game, you've got wonderful food. Yeah, it's a great place to
And
be.
then a little bit of...
wine. Yeah, does that help your play?
You got to have that.
So do you think I should try this?
I think you should try it. You want to try it right now?
I've never done it before, and I feel guilty. I should probably.
Okay.
I should try it. What do you think, Jason?
Jason, we got a guy here that doesn't know how to play the game, and we want to teach it to him.
Okay.
Okay, we got to explain a little bit how the game works.
Well, first of all, what's the little ball for?
That's the target. It's called the Palino. That's the target.
Palino.
Yes. Basic object of the game. You want to get close to the Palino.
Okay.
Let's go down on
Let's
this
go down.
end.
I'll try and get close to the Palino. I don't even know what I just said.
Well, since I already know how to eat Italian, I figured that with the expert tutelage of bocce champs Jason Wisniewski and Jose Barro, I should be rolling them like a pro in no time. And I gotta say, it's definitely tougher than it looks, but also a whole lot of fun, and a great way to work up an appetite. So we sat down to a meal so good and so plentiful that if we could have stood up after we were done, we would have done it all over again. I'm telling you, Palazzo de Bocce will make you feel so Italian, you'll leave with an extra vowel on the end of your name. So let me make you an offer you can't refuse. Go to Palazzo de Bocce, have dinner, play some bocce ball, and if you don't have a great time, what's the matter you?
You know, there may not be a Loch Ness Monster, and Bigfoot, that's a bit of a stretch, but out here in Lake Orion, there's actually a dragon on the lake.
Actually, there's tons of them in all shapes and sizes, and they're all here for a very good cause. It's called Dragon on the Lake, and it happens every August to celebrate this great town and to help support the Orion Arts Center. This community festival celebrates art, music, and of course,
The Legend of the Dragon.
not only is James Jenkins the Orion Arts Center director, he's also the man who breathes fire into this great festival.
So I understand there's really a legend of a dragon on this lake.
Oh, 100%. So, gosh, I guess over 100 years ago, the talk was that there was dragon sightings on the lake. It actually turns out, I think the right story, there's several of them, but I think the right one is that the boys at 312 Broadway, the Miller family, they had a couple young boys, and they built like a wooden dragon, and they put it on pulleys, and they pull it in and out of the lake to scare some of the old ladies on Sunday. And so there was a lot of dragon reports on Lake Orion.
Now, did you come up with Dragon on the Lake? Was it your invention?
You know what? It wasn't mine. I was one of the 4 people that started Dragon on the Lake.
And it's not just to bring the community together, it's for the Arts Center too, isn't it?
Well, it is. The Arts Center is the primary fundraising mechanism or benefactor for Dragon on the Lake. It's important for the Arts Center to be able to connect the community to the arts. And, you know, we need to help. And this is a big part of our fundraising for the year. But it's such a great way to be able to connect the community to the arts, and a great chance to be able to add in other art elements into the event as well.
Now, you've got teams coming in here from all over the country, I hear.
You know, we do. We have 3 teams from Canada this year. We have a team from Ohio this year. So we're trying to get bigger, badder, and better and bring more people in from all over.
I love events like this because they mean something to the community. They bring people together.
Yes.
And it's a heck of a lot of fun. So kudos to you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. It's really a ton of work. We couldn't do it without, obviously, the team at the Art Center, the board, the volunteers, and on behalf of the Art Center, I mean, thank you to the community, because if people don't come out, you can invite all the people you want. If they don't show up, you don't really have a party.
In preparation, the teams stretch, focus, concentrate, get pumped up, and then stand in line to wait their turn, only to be harassed by a goofy TV show host.
So you're the drummer of your team?
Yes.
Do you have any rhythm at all?
Of course.
Well, I'm just checking. I mean, you never know.
Well, you have to have great rhythm.
Really?
In order to keep them on track.
Oh, right. So do you yell at them if they don't do well?
Oh, I do.
Let me hear your best yell.
Hey!
Oh, okay, that works for me. What's the best thing about doing this?
Oh, it's hard, it's fast, it's fun, it's wet.
Hard,
Yeah.
fast, fun, and wet.
Yes.
I'll remember that. I noticed your team has a particular certain theme to it.
Oh, well, we have God on our side. And we plan on parting the waters for a win.
Is that fair? Sir, I noticed you have muscles.
Yes, sir.
Does that mean you're going to do well?
Yes, sir.
Show us your muscles. Come on. There, you guys are good. Plus, you're more aerodynamic than some people.
That's exactly right. That was her idea.
It was obvious that these racers take this race very seriously and prep in every way possible.
You have a team hairdresser?
Yes, Denise.
That is awesome. Do you have a team masseuse too, I suppose?
Yes, Storm.
Why is a masseuse important for your team?
Well, I've had a stiff neck now for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, I got news for you. You don't paddle with your neck, so I think you're going to be fine.
Well,
We also noticed right away that the paddlers' attitude and demeanor changed quite a bit after they raced.
So I noticed you guys are really wet.
Yes.
Is that good or bad?
It's a combination of both, really. It's a team effort to get this wet because our timing is a little messed up. But all in all, you know, we're trying our best and we're going out there, so that's important.
Right, let me translate. Does that mean you guys sucked?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. Okay.
Boy, this event has a little bit of everything. Dancers for dancing, drummers for drumming, and a community that really wants to give back.
What's the best thing about this event?
Best thing about this event is when you look around, you see everybody that's representing a different business, different cause, but we're here for one reason only, to support each other, to support the Orion Art Center, and also to support the cancer survivors who have 3 or 4 boats in this race too. It's just the unity displayed by the community is fantastic.
Well said. Now go dry off. You're wet.
Thank you.
If you're not as scared of dragons, check out Dragon on the Lake in Lake Orion, because Nessie and Bigfoot ain't got nothing on this event. And if you love living the good life, you'll like Lake Orion a lot. It's a town, a lake, and everything in between.
Hey, UTR adventure lovers, I've got a trivia question for you. Are you ready? Are you ready? He's ready.
Okay, here goes. What Michigan city is surrounded by rolling hills and unspoiled forest, has over 100 lakes, and sits on the 45th parallel?
Well, if you guessed Gaylord, you must be a golfer. No.
Gaylord is literally the self-described golf mecca of the Midwest. It's got 17 championship courses that are nestled deep in some of Michigan's most scenic surroundings. Heck, golfers flock to this place like, well, golfers to golf. And I'll bet you can't wait to see me tackle one of these iconic courses.
Well, you're going to have to wait, because if I made you watch me play golf, you wouldn't be watching very long. Oh, there it is.
And hey, look, there's Gaylord, right off I-75, just 1 hour south of the mighty Mackinac Bridge. Remember when you were a kid, your whole family would pile into the car and head off on one of those classic Michigan summer vacations? And on the way up north, your parents would pull off of I-75 at exit 282 and take you to the Call of the Wild Museum? Remember how much fun that was? Well, guess what? My mom never stopped.
But lucky for me, it's still here. Boy, these lollipops last a long time.
And speaking of things that last a long time, Call of the Wild Museum has been creating fun and educational vacation memories for more than 50 years now. Talk about a blast from the past. When it comes to old school family vacation cool, Call of the Wild is a fur-filled flashback that will take you back to a time when your family wagon was your primary portal to adventure. I didn't want to wander into the wild alone, so I arranged a personal tour with the museum's #1 woman, Janice Vollmer.
So your father and your mom started this place back in the 50s?
They did. They opened a place in 1957 south of here, down by Frederick. And then in the early 60s, things changed a lot. They moved up here, opened in 1965.
Really? How many former fauna are in this place?
There are about 150 mounted animals in here.
And these are the original, you said, displays that are up front here?
These 4 are ones that were here in 1965. The timber wolf, the doe and 2 fawns. There's turkeys and elk that are original.
I love this whole effect, how you're like going through this cavern and then seeing these, what are these called, dioramas?
They're dioramas or displays, and they have mounted animals, and then each one has a hand-painted background. And we try to make a natural settings so they look like they're really out in the wild.
What's it like for you to carry on this family tradition?
I love it. It's really nice. My brother worked with my dad, and my sister worked here. They have both retired. But now I work here with my daughter, my husband, and some other family members. And it really is special.
What I love about this is I didn't realize how educational this experience is. It's not just for entertainment, it's a great place to bring children or anybody and teach them about nature.
That's right.
And I love the fact that you've got you can actually, with these horns, there's little speakers.
The great horned owl.
And then you can actually hear the great horned owl. That's awesome. Now, not all the animals in here are indigenous to Michigan. Correct?
That's true. Most are, but we do have some animals that they're all North American, but there are a few that don't live in Michigan. One is the Alaskan brown bear, and we also have a polar bear. And of course, neither one of those live in Michigan.
But perhaps they vacationed here, so that's
that
okay.
would be nice.
Again, I have to apologize. I've been driving by this place for years and years and never stopped, and now I feel bad because it's such an extraordinary place. So thanks for your patience, for waiting for me for 50 years, but it really is a great place.
Thank you, Tom. We're glad you're finally here.
This retro animal roundup really is a fun place to take the entire family. But just remember, there's no need to feed these exhibits. That is, of course, unless you come upon the endangered and elusive TV show host exhibit. He'll eat anything. Well, after a walk on the wild side, we decided to head into downtown Gaylord and check back in with modern civilization. Also known as the Alpine Village, Gaylord has a great main street with tons of places to get lost and then find yourself again. It's a classic northern Michigan town with everything you need for both fun and to fill your tummy. And this Tommy's tummy was on empty. And just then, we saw it.
Okay, so you're driving through downtown Gaylord and you see a sign that says Old Spud Warehouse and Bearded Dog Lounge. What do? Well, you do what we did. Turn around, go back, and find out what's up.
And that's just what we did when we headed into the Old Spud Warehouse to get our potato head straight with Jenny Sopper.
I noticed when I came in here that this place must be old because look at these floors. Oh my gosh.
These floors are about over 100 years old. And when Candy and Larry bought the building, they had to redo the floors. I mean, scrub them like crazy because this building, as you know, was an old Spud warehouse.
Well, for those who don't know what Spud is, so it was a potato warehouse.
Potato warehouse.
They would warehouse the potatoes here for the farmers.
They would. And all these little squares you see in the floor, they would dump them down there. It was a co-op, so there was all different people who would come here to store their potatoes.
Well, what I love about this place, how do you find such an incredible array of different things to sell?
We go to a lot of markets, all different kinds of markets. And Candy, one of the owners, she's like a visionary. She can just kind of picture all this kind of stuff, and she's got a great sense of humor.
Now, do you find that when couples come here that when the lady sort of meanders through here, that the gentlemen tend to find their way up to the bar?
They do, and so do the women.
Yes.
So, and that helps.
Are you saying that from experience, or?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, actually, the guys like this place as well.
I actually love
Because
this
it's got,
place.
you know, a lot of little fun things, colorful things.
At the old Spud warehouse, you're bound to find something fun and unique around every corner. And the best part is, around one of them, you'll even find the Bearded Dog Lounge. Chris Newberry brought me up to speed on why Gaylord needs a place like this.
You're going to be proud of me, but I figured out all on my own that the Spud warehouse was here first.
Yes, it was.
It looks much older.
It is much older.
Explain the genesis. How did this place happen?
Well, the owners were sitting around at a table.
Much like this one?
Yes, much like this one. And they decided that it would be perfect to have a little bar over here so that the women could drop off the men while they shop.
And it worked, obviously.
It did work, but it became more than what it was actually supposed to be.
Right, and it's turned out to be the place where the community comes to hang out, to connect,
Yes.
to eat good food,
Yes.
and have adult malted beverages.
Yep.
What's your philosophy here on food?
We do spend a lot of time on our food. We do everything from scratch. We don't have fryers. We don't have microwaves. All of the pasta that you would order here is made in-house. And the thing that's really amazing to me is most of our advertisement is just word of mouth. And that's just amazing to me. A little spot in Gaylord has that much draw.
At the Bearded Dog, a great atmosphere plus great food adds up to, well, happy people.
I suppose you're here for happy hour, too?
Absolutely. We come here because they have so many choices of martinis. We usually try 2 or 3 different kinds, and then we move to something else, and we are darn happy.
I got an interesting question for you. Ever
Okay.
try the food?
Yes, we tried the food. The food is really gourmet. The spices, the seasoning, it's absolutely excellent. So we love the food as well.
We come up every year on a golf trip, and once we found the Bearded Dog, we make sure we come back here every year because the food is absolutely fantastic. The staff are super. They get along. We have a lot of fun when we're here. You can really enjoy yourself. You wouldn't find a better place in this area for a delightful dinner with some good wine.
How's the company?
Well, now you're pushing it. Now you're pushing it.
So we've done our part to show you the Spud Warehouse and the Bearded Dog. Now the only question left for you is, which one do you go in first? But either way, I think you'll be happy.
Hey, have you heard of the herd they have in Gaylord? Well, now that I've heard of them, I have to show them to you. Oh, there's the herd now. Shh, I think they heard me.
The Pigeon River State Forest, just northeast of Gaylord, is home of the only free-range elk herd in the entire Midwest. And part of that herd is maintained and cared for at the Gaylord City Elk Park just south of town. To find out more about these mighty creatures, I spent some time with a mammal who's a lot more like me, Ed Thal.
Are you sure these aren't just deer that you fed too much?
No, these are elk.
They're huge. How big do these get?
The males can get up to about 800-900 pounds. Cows usually are between 6 and 7.
Now, the largest herd in the Midwest is here in Michigan. Are they indigenous to Michigan, or did they?
Yes, they are. They used to be, they were reintroduced, if I'm not mistaken, the DNR reintroduced them back in the 50s and late 40s, and they've been going ever since.
And this herd's maintained by the city, so you can come out any year-round, you can see them?
Year-round. We feed them in 2 spots in the summertime. In the wintertime, we move them closer to the garage because it's easier to get to.
Can you ride them?
Sure.
I'll take that as a no.
Well, now that you've heard of this herd, you should really get to the Gaylord City Elk Park and have a look. So take our advice here at UTR. Get in your car, get to Gaylord, and get started having fun. It really is one of the best places to learn, eat, shop, and connect with nature. Or, haven't you heard? Oh boy.
Hey folks, thanks so much for watching Under the Radar Michigan. I really appreciate it. Look, if you want to know more about what we do, where we go, what we have, go to utrmichigan.com. You can get our brand new book, UTR The First 50. You can get DVDs of our shows. You can get wearables, even this brand new hoodie like the one I'm wearing right here. Pretty sweet, huh? So go to utrmichigan.com. You'll have fun, I guarantee.
Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
And by Big B Coffee, celebrating 18 years as a Michigan company. Gift cards, mugs, and coffee by the pound available in store and online. Franchise info available at biggby.com.